This is an audio-only recording of an exercise session for Vision of Adventure. A cycling session led by Kath Finn. Please note that you will need some form of stationary bike with controllable resistance to participate in this session. Recorded in winter 2025.
On that note, part of the warm-up, we're going to do 3-minute blocks, but we're going to start those 3 minutes really easy and then end up with a 3-minute working quite hard at the end of it. So I'll count you into your minutes as you go through it, and then we'll go back to the beginning for the start of the next 3 minutes. I think we'll do 3 of those. So I'm just going to turn the clock on. Here we go. So we're starting nice and steady. We're starting our first 3 minutes, toddling along, worrying about things too much. And I've spent this afternoon at blood donating, and he was really interesting. The nurse who unclipped me at the end. It's a really great way of getting your iron tested for free without having to wait 4 weeks for your GP. Because if your iron isn't good enough, they won't take you. If your iron's really bad, they then refer you to your GP saying that you need a blood test. And mine didn't do what it was supposed to on the first test. So they had to take some more blood out of my arm and do a second test. And then they said it was good enough. The nice thing about that was they also gave me my hemoglobin reading. So I can now put that in and check it against the test results that I've had before. This is your second minute, just starting now. And I like it. Hands have gone for resistance, going up a bit. Well done. And then I can see whether my hemoglobin's holding steady. I'm taking really large iron supplements. So one of the things I was kind of wanting to check was that I'm not actually poisoning myself. And it would appear that I'm not. But a doctor's question is, why am I taking so much supplementation, but my iron is still passable, but bumping along the bottom, basically? So that was the first point of interest. And then he said we use 45 or 48, and I can't remember, 1,000 litres of blood a day in the NHS. And that all, obviously, comes from volunteers. And that is phenomenal. You're now going into your last minute of this block. And he said if there isn't any blood, no operation can go ahead. They have to have blood in the blood bank before they can operate on someone, just in case they need it. So it was kind of a bit sobering, because it feels really pathetic. You're giving like 1 tiny litre and they use 48,000. That's massive. But then you think, well, if I don't give it and everybody thought like that, what would happen? There'd be lots of people who wouldn't be able to have the treatment that they need. And you're coming up to the end of this 3rd minute. So we're going to take the resistance right back down. So you're going into the second little block here. And we've got another 3 minutes of going nice and easy, a bit harder, and then pretty hard. The scarf's come off, so things must be getting good. Nice. So in what he also said, he asks people what it would take when they say, oh, no, I couldn't donate. That's, too difficult. I can't face the sight of needles or whatever. He said, what would it take for you to want to donate? Do you have to see your mum in hospital waiting for blood, or your child? What would make you think it's a good idea? And I kind of thought that was quite powerful. So I went and said that to my son, who went, yeah, there's no reason why I can't donate. I just haven't been bothered. Maybe I should. So hopefully we've got someone else. Right, easy minute over needs to go up again. Because I always kind of think that one of my reasons for donating is one day I might really need it. And then kind of, what right do I have to take other people's gifts if I don't feel that I can't give, when actually for me it's quite easy. I don't have a medical reason. I do have a mobility. I can get there. I'm not working all the time. So job done. It does take about a month though for your red blood cells to fully come back up, to recover and rebuild the numbers. So I am selfish enough not to do it in season because it impacts your performance. Coming up to going into your 3rd minute. 3, 2, 1. And you want that final, so you want to be working at a left at about 7 now. You've only got a minute of it. And you should be feeling that things are maybe a little bit smoother, coming together, settling back into, this lovely hour we have on a Tuesday night. And when I'm not here, they're always on YouTube. You can just go back. And remember that just hopping on that turbo and turning your legs, being able to chat to a friend or watch a film or listen to an audio book or podcast or whatever takes your fancy is really valuable in terms of your long-term fitness. And we are going for the last minute on this set. So we want, in fact, we will now drop down. I'm talking too much. And we'll start the 1st minute on the next set. So this should be easy. Clearly been doing too much if I can't count to 9. It's been a busy day. I had a mountain biking lesson in the car park and learnt to ride down the steps. Yes, yes. It did take quite a lot of encouragement. With my supportive friend going, there isn't an easy way to do this. Just put your big girl pants on and ride it. You'll be fine. And she was right. I was fine. It just took me a while to find my big girl pants. Okay, we want to go up to that middle level. A nice middling level of effort, maybe about 6. I suppose 5 is middle, about 10. So 5, 6, quite hard, a little bit hard, but not too hard. A little bit further to go. And now we want to be heading for the final minute. So I've seen people's resistance go up already. That's great. So this should be your 7, 8 level. So no, I'm not saying 9, 10. So it's not like completely break yourself. We are at the beginning when we are warming up. And as there's clouds of steam coming off certain people, it's clearly working. Lovely job. So we want about half an hour, half a minute like this. So 15 seconds. 3, 2, 1. 9 minutes of work in terms of warm up. Looks like it's worked brilliantly. And what we haven't done is those nice little fast bits. So we'll just do 10 seconds of that fast. And then that's not too long. So we'll do 10 seconds of fast work followed by 50 seconds off. And we'll do it 3 times. So it's 3 minutes worth, but short and sharp. Looking good, looking like you're ready to go. So we're going to go fast for 10 seconds. So a little bit of resistance, ready to make your legs turn. 3, 2, 1, and go. 10 seconds, that's all, dead easy. 5 gone. 3, 2, 1, relax. You've got 50 seconds. To get your breath back, enjoy the view. Listen to the birds if you can hear any, maybe it's your dinner cooking you can hear. Worry about what's burning. Enjoy the outlook of your garage wall. See, I get all your lovely faces even though you're on mute. 5 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1. 10 seconds, off you go. Excellent. 5 gone. 3, 2, 1. Relax it for another 50. So I had a bit of a swim this morning, which didn't go too well. Then my coach has put rowing in my program, and I never really rowed. So we had 20 minutes of rowing, which went okay, but it would be good for the back of my, between my scapulars, I think. And then I had this mountain bike lesson, which wasn't hard riding, but it was quite hard on the brain. I needed some jelly babies. And then I was like, well, I'm here anyway. I've got my run shoes. I'll get one of my runs ticked off. So I went for a run. And then my legs were quite tired. And then I came home and ate a very, very, very big lunch. Okay, 3 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1, go. 10 seconds, last one. 3, 2, 1. Take it away, relax. Okay, I can see that we're very happily warmed up, and in that we've managed to put a little bit of work as well. So, yep, all is not wasted. We're now going to do 5 sets of 2 minutes of overgeared effort, 1 minute of fast spinning, 2 minutes of effort about 7, 1 minute rest. So that's quite a full block of work. And remember, the overgeared effort is the one with the nice slow cadence, with your glute muscles and your quads really working, quite a high resistance on your bike. So it's the kind of imagining you're going uphill, but it's a steady gradient, but persistent. Same effort all the way. So when we are ready, not when we're ready, we are ready. So we'll go 3, 2, 1, go. 2 minutes, really slow cadence, high resistance, lots of effort through your legs, shoulders and arms quite relaxed, core is engaged. We're keeping our upper body beautifully still, which is what I can see. That's beautiful. And we're halfway through the first minute. Lovely. I should say that I did eat while I was doing all those different things. Not massively, but I probably had about, just trying to think, 20. I only had about 40 grams of carb, which probably wasn't enough. And I had about 800 ml of fluid, partly electrolyte. And then as soon as I finished, I had a shake in the car with milk and banana and a bit of peanut butter and yogurt and some protein powder. And then I came back and had lunch of rice and chicken and veg and salad and stuff. Half a minute to go on this one. I can see great cadence. Well done. Now, this is going to be an abrupt little change. In 15 seconds, we want to start doing the opposite. So it's easier resistance, very high cadence. Well, maybe not very super high. And it's the fast spinning, not the flat out sprint that we do in the 10 seconds. You've got a minute, 3, 2, 1, go. So quite a light resistance, just enough to keep you still in the seat, and legs going fairly fast. If you remember last week or any of the others, you're looking at 100, 110 kind of pace, which I can see going really well here. Brilliant. Liking it. And we're halfway through almost that first minute. Well done. Holding on, you've got 10 seconds. Then we're going to change on 3, 2, 1 to effort level 7, 6, 7, normal cadence. So this is your normal. I'm pedaling along the flat, but I'm in a bit of a hurry and I want to catch the guys in front of me because my pride is at stake. And I know none of you think like that ever. Having ridden with one or two of you, I know how wrong that is. Oh, who are we passing now? Oh, can we pass someone else? Oh. So we're coming up to the first minute. So we want another minute at this, and we're going to do 4 more sets like this. So again, think about your effort levels. Lovely. And you've only got half a minute more, so you're doing really well. Almost catching that, Dave Corso. As for Dave Barker, he got a head start because he set off before we had. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. You've now got your minute. Relax. So keep your legs moving, but do it at whatever cadence feels right. Probably drop your resistance quite a lot. And I see people going for drinks. That's great. Lovely. You've still got half a minute to go. How lovely and restful. And then we're going back to 2 minutes of overgeared effort. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Off you go. Overgeared effort. Nice strong resistance. Slow cadence unless your knees are rebelling. And building the muscle around your knee, in your quads, and in, I can never remember its posh name, but there's a teardrop muscle on the top of your kneecap on the inside. That one. Building any of those muscles is really good for your knees. It will support them. And it'll take pressure off the joints if your muscles are strong. And it also takes some of the stress off your skeleton. So if you're doing Paddy strength and you can maintain muscle strength, it lessens the forces on your skeleton, which is a good thing. Especially if, as you get a bit older, you fall into the osteoporosis category. And as we're all female, we're more likely than the men to. 80% to 20% is the figure. %, 20% is the golden ratio for everything. 80% really good diet, 20% enjoy yourself. 80% of your wardrobe sits there, 20% gets worn endlessly and recycled. 80% of your training, I hope you're all listening, should be done at a pace you can chat to your mate. 20% maximum should be hard. And that's the whole session, not just the adding up the bits in the middle. Okay, we are now going to change into that spin. 3, 2, 1, resistance lighter, legs spinning. And it's a very difficult neural jump, so you're doing really well. And we can now see Dave Barker, who had to have a head start, but we're gaining on him. Lovely, you're halfway there on this one. Nice. Good jobs. Oh, it's so rewarding to come and coach because you just like, you're so committed. Can't let me down now. Not once I've said that. 3, 2, 1. Effort level 6, 7, 2 minutes. Nice, great posture. Now, if we looked 2, 3 years ago, if we kept any of the video footage, the difference would be amazing, which is really nice to see. I've got just over a minute until you get your rest minute. So it's just over the horizon. Lovely. 40 seconds left on the clock. And you look really, you look like you're working, but you also look really comfortable with it. So well done. Like it would be sustainable. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Take your minute rest. 2 done. So we're coming up into the halfway one. Nice to see people making the most of that. Half a minute left. Ten seconds. 3, 2, 1. Overgeared effort. Resistance on, slow cadence. Pulling up the hills. Helping out your pilot, who sure needs it sometimes, depending who they are. Vision of Adventure seems to have recruited some very strong pilots at the moment, which is great. Halfway through the first minute. Just before you got too excited there. One more minute to go at this. Lovely job. Summit of this little bump is coming. Half a minute to go. And then we're going to go for that spin again. Ten seconds. 3, 2, 1, and spin it. Whee! Way down the other side. Wind now rushing through your helmet. Chilling you off after all that effort. I tell you, if you were riding outside at the minute, that wind would be chilling you off. And I hope none of you are, because there's too much ice around, certainly here. So a lot of cyclists riding today. I was like, oh my gosh. No, fully agree. No, 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 no. Last thing I want is a broken hip. That would be, ooh, yes, that would be a whole season out and then maybe not moving as well ever again. 10 seconds. And then we go to threshold. Looking lovely. Depending how you define lovely. 3, 2, 1. 2 minutes at effort level 6, 7. Looking lovely if that means hot, sweaty, hair going everywhere, like you're working and having a really good time. And you've got 2 minutes like this. And having done Paddy's nutritional diary, I thought I'd better do my own to balance it out. So it is interesting and things have moved, so that's good. Last time I did it, I definitely didn't drink enough. And the veg was in the winter definitely maybe not great. This time the veg is brilliant. because I had vegetable soup for about 3 days, so that kind of helped. And then with beans in, so I had to give it some protein. And yeah, the drinking is now a lot better. I'm just about on it for my daily needs, including exercise. But then there's the fat bit. Now, would I rather eat an avocado or some more boiled potato? Well, come on. There's no real choice there, is there? But unfortunately, it would appear that perhaps my consumption of avocados, nuts, and the like, and butter is a little bit more than the government would like it to be. And my carbohydrate intake is a little bit less than my coach would like it to be. So there's a bit of balancing up there. But I did so many races last year that all the carb loading definitely meant that I grew myself a spare tire. And it has taken about 4 months to attempt to get rid of it. And after that, there are only 15 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and time out. Minute rest. 3 of them are done. You're over halfway. You have 2 left. And then remember, that won't take us to the hour. So we might end on a little bit of a bang, because it would be rude not to, because it's the last one. Okay, 10 seconds before we go again. 3, 2, 1, overgeared. Strain on the quads, strain on the glutes. Asking them to do that job, develop that strength, and then feed them some nice protein afterwards so they can rebuild themselves all nice and strong. Half a minute gone. And the next one, the next set will be the last set. We're on number 4. Over halfway. One more minute at this. Good concentration. Good effort. I will be copying you later in the week. Not with this exact thing, but I'll definitely be doing some overgeared efforts. So I'm with you. Okay, you've only got 15 seconds. 3, 2, 1, turn to spin. Nice fast spin, but only for a minute. In fact, now only 50 seconds. So it's not too long. Well done. You're over halfway on the spinning. Nice. Getting ready for the change in your head. We're going to go to effort 7, normal cadence in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and change. Now we've got 2 minutes on this one. So this one should be making you puff. It should be uncomfortable enough so you can't chat. And I can see that's what we're getting. Well done. First minute, you're just going through it. You've got 1 minute left to hang on for this. And I think we'd better be gaining on Liz this time. So keep powering ahead. You've got 45 seconds to see if you can catch her. "30 seconds to go." "5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Brilliant. 4 done. 1 left. So you've got a minute of rest. Although try and keep your legs moving. It doesn't matter what pace, and a very light resistance. And that'll just help the circulation keep doing its job. "30 seconds left. And then we're going to go into the last 5 minutes of this set. So you've done 4, 1 to go. Can't be that bad. Okay. Head ready, heart ready, going for it. Overgeared effort, slow cadence. Last one. I leave you to decide whether you call Liz. And this time we can have a look at Jill on the horizon. And Jill is an absolute powerhouse uphill, so there's no chance we're going to catch her here. Especially not on tandems when she's on a solo, because we climb slower. But we have the advantage on the other side. Lovely job. That's looking great. There's going to be some tired legs tonight. One minute gone. Remember how much you've already done. So you've done 9 minutes of this and you've got 1 minute left of overgeared effort. Half a minute to go. Keep the focus. Well done. 10 seconds before we go on to the spin. 3, 2, 1. And loosen the resistance, spin the legs. Try and hold everything still except for the legs. Relax the shoulders and the arms, use your core. Remember to breathe, always useful. Looking nice. Nearly there, 15 seconds. 3, 2, 1. And change. Effort 6, 7. 90 cadence, normal cadence. Great, you've all dropped straight back into it in the last 2 minutes of this set. Good work. Got just over 1 minute left. And that's a lot of work. So we've done 25 minutes of work. Well, we've done 24 minutes of work. And we're just on the last little minute. Last half. Great efforts. Just maintain that focus. Lost Teresa. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. And very well done. Chill out. A couple of minutes, which I have got on the clock. Well ridden. That looks great. It's a bit of sitting up, bit of people having drinks, legs still moving, but nice and slow, and just keeping them going gently. You've got another good minute and a bit here. And then we're just going to do a tiny bit of that pedaling technique and then finish with a little burst. Kind of doing little bits and pieces of most things. I hope others manage to access this on YouTube. And I'm fairly sure some do, but it's hard to follow it when it's in its original state in the gym, I think, if there's lots of other people around. Okay, half a minute to go, and then we're just going to think about pedaling technique, and we're going to think about a whole leg at once. So although now we're quite tired, so we want a nice, easy resistance, And we're just going to be thinking about the whole action on the left leg. So pushing it over the top, and we've done quite a bit of this through the weeks, and then driving it down and scraping it back along the bottom. And we're going to do 2 minutes on the left leg, and then we'll have a swap and do it on the right. Might not do that long. We'll do 1 minute, 1 minute, and then we'll do them together. So we work on using both of them nice and fluid. Reset. Okay, so we're going to start thinking left leg. 3, 2, 1, go. So thinking about the action of the left leg, and Teresa's popped back in again. Brilliant. So we're using both legs, but we're thinking specifically about good technique on the left leg. So driving across the top, pushing down and pulling back a little bit, but trying to make it all quite a smooth action. I'm using all our muscles, and then the momentum of pulling it back should allow us to lift our leg using relatively little energy. And we're creating hopefully a lovely smooth, almost oval shape rather than a jaggedy square circle. Jaggedy square circle? A jaggedy square. Okay, we're coming up to a minute on that leg. So just pedal for 30 seconds. Don't think about either leg particularly. Think smooth though. Think really smooth. Bottom of your body only working below your waist. And then we're going to go right leg in 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Thinking right leg, using both, but the focus is on the right leg for really good form. Very, very smooth pedaling, putting the force on nice and early at the top of the stroke, pushing down. Right leg focus. Making it beautiful. Three, 2, 1, and relax for half a minute. And then we're just going to think about both, but thinking about really beautiful technique. So just pedaling. 3, 2, 1. Thinking about both legs with really good technique. You can use the same resistance, but you might find with that amount of focus that you actually need a little bit more to feel comfortable. Think of all that capacity that we don't use because we're not being that efficient. And clearly you can't hold it all the time because your brain hurts. But it is quite nice to see the difference. Nice. Lovely form. Relax your brains, keep your legs moving. Doesn't have to be hard. Right. The last sting in the tail, if you want to do it, you don't have to, is 5, 30 on, 30 off. So we've done it before, but at different proportions. But we're only going to do one round. So previous weeks, I think we did 10 and the timings were slightly different. But we're very near the end of the session. If you think that your legs and your body has had enough and you want to use this as cool down time, that's absolutely fine. I'm going to count it anyway, and you can decide what to do. This is the very last thing that we're going to do. Okay, if you wish to do 30-30s, we're going to go in 3, 2, 1, go. So it's 30 pretty hard. That's 10 seconds. So think about your effort. Can you sustain it? I know it won't feel like it, but I'm lengthening your lives. 20 gone. 3, 2, 1. Take your 30 rest. Brilliant. Lovely. 20 left to go. 10. 3, 2, 1. Fast for 30. You're halfway. Well done. Fantastic. 10 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. 30 seconds, relax. 2 gone. This is your middle one coming up. Ten seconds. 3, 2, 1. Go for it. 30 seconds. 10 gone. Halfway. Awesome. Hang in there. 3, 2, 1. Relax. 30 seconds. You're over halfway. You've got 2 left. That is 1 whole minute. Thought it was only fair to end on a little bit of a spark. 10 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1. Off you go. 30 seconds. Halfway. Well done. Keep it going if you can. This is a tall order at this time of night. 3, 2, 1. And relax. 30 seconds, relax. And then your very last one. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Go for it. Last 30 seconds of the night. Amazing. Great jobs. Really well done. Halfway through. It's almost there. 10 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Brilliant. Well done. Really well done. If you are on YouTube watching this, after that, you absolutely, definitely, please need to take 5 minutes or so of just slow, steady pedaling just to ease your legs out. You don't really want to get straight off a bike now and have a sudden temperature change, motion change, heart rate change. We want to bring everything down a bit, allow it to recover. Put something warm on if you're one of the people that chills off really quickly, especially if you're somewhere cold, and just enjoy taking the time to let your body celebrate what it's just done, because that was really hard. Well done.